Hello and welcome back to freeCodeCamp's Basic Javascript section. We're in Use Bracket Notation to find the first character in a string. It says bracket notation is a way to get a character at a specific index within a string. Most modern programming languages like JavaScript don't start counting at 1 like humans do. They start at 0. This is referred to as zero-based indexing. For example, the characters at index 0 in the word Charles is C. So if var first name is assigned Charles, you can get the value of the first letter of the string by using first name bracket 0. Use bracket notation to find the first character in the last name variable and assign it to first letter of last name. Hint: try looking at the first letter of first name variable declaration if you get stuck. Here's their example. First letter of first name. It's an empty string. And we have var first name, Ada. So then they did first letter of first name and assigned to it the first character by using bracket 0. So they want us to find the first character in last name. So there's last name. That would be L. We want to target that by doing bracket 0. So this here assigns L to first letter of last name. Run test. We did pass. So that was basically just targeting. If we did 1, that would target the O. If we did V, that would be 2. And again, it's because it starts at 0. Counting starts at 0, so that would be 0, that would be 1, that would be 2, and so forth. But yeah, that was 0. Let's go to the next one. Understand string immutability. In JavaScript, string values are immutable, which means that they cannot be altered once created. For example, the following code: var my string is assigned Bob. If we try to reassign that first character with a J, it cannot change the value of my string to job because the contents of my string cannot be altered. Note that this does not mean that my string cannot be changed, just that the individual characters of a string literal cannot be changed. The only way to change my string would be to assign it with a new string like this. So here's var my string and it's assigned Bob. If we take my string and assign to it job, then that would work. Correct the assignment to my string so it contains the string value of hello world using the approach shown in the example above. So instead of doing this, we're going to have to do my string is assigned hello world. And that's basically the same as how we did it here. Run test. And there we just learned about string immutability and how in order to change it we need to reassign it with something else. Basic JavaScript. Use bracket notation to find the nth character in a string. You can also use bracket notation to get the character at the other positions within a string. Remember that computers start counting at 0, so the first character is actually the 0th character. Let's try to set third letter of last name to equal the third letter of the last name variable using bracket notation. Hint: try looking at the second letter of first name variable declaration if you get stuck. And we kind of went over that on that first lesson, so this should be pretty easy. This is second letter of first name. This is third letter of last name. And we're going to assign that last name bracket 2. And that's because 0, 1, 2 would be the third letter of Lovelace, which would be that V. And we could even console it out so you guys can see. Console.log last, what was it? Third letter of last name. And we see a V there. So run test. We did pass. Let's go to the next one. Use bracket notation to find the last character in a string. In order to get the last letter of a string, you can subtract 1 from the string's length. For example, if var first name is assigned Charles, you can get the value of the last letter of the string by using first name, and then we take first name dot length and just minus 1. And that should give us the last letter of the name. Use bracket notation to find the last character in the last name variable. Try looking at the last letter of first name variable declaration if you get stuck. Same thing. So here they have last letter of first name. they assign to it first name, and then they do bracket notation, and within there, we know that the length is 3, so 3 minus 1 would be 2, so that there would basically be a 2 in here, which would be the same as grabbing third character, because 0, 1, and 2. So instead, we can use this first name dot length minus 1 and always be able to get the last character of a name or of a string. So if we run that, oh, I forgot to do it here. Last letter of last name, it would be the same. So last name dot length minus 1. And again, we could console log last letter of first name, and we get that, and there's that E. Okay, run test. We did a pass. Go to the next one. Use bracket notation to find the nth to last character in a string. You can use the same principle we just used to retrieve the last character in a string to retrieve the nth to last character. For example, you can get the value of the third to last letter of the var first name equals Charles string by using first name dot length minus 3. And basically the same logic applies here. Use bracket notation to find the second to last character in the last name string. So we could try looking at third to last letter of first name, but we're trying to do the second. But here, the third to last letter would be A, and that works the same. First name length, what is it? 3. So that's the length, 3. If we minus 3, it's going to give us 0. And that's going to be the first letter. So here we can do second to last letter of last name, and we do last name dot length minus 2. And then we can check it out by doing console.log second to last letter of last name. And there's a C, and there's a C. And we could run tests and we'll see that work. It did work. So word blank. We'll do this one, and this will be the last one. We will now use our knowledge of strings to build a Mad Libs style word game we're calling word blanks. You will create an optionally humorous fill-in-the-blank style sentence. In a Mad Libs game, you are provided sentences with some missing words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. You then fill in the missing pieces with words of your choice in a way that the completed sentence makes sense. Consider the sentence. It was really blank and we blank ourselves blank. This sentence has 3 missing pieces, an adjective, a verb, and an adverb, and we can add words of our choice to complete it. We can then assign the completed sentence to a variable as follows. Var sentence is assigned it was really plus hot plus and we laughed ourselves silly. So we see a string here plus another string plus another string plus another string, bunch of strings added together. So of course we can replace some of these with variables that can be added in. So in this challenge we provide you with a noun, a verb, an adjective, and an adverb. You need to form a complete sentence using words of your choice along with the words we provide. You will need to use the string concatenation operator to build a new string using the provided variables, my noun, my adjective, my verb, and my adverb. You will then assign the form string to the result variable. You will also need to account for spaces in your string so that the final sentence has spaces between all the words. The result should be a complete sentence. So, let's see. So your code below this line, they basically want us to make a string with my noun, my adjective, my verb, and my adverb. So, I guess we can create our own sentence. So let's do the big space plus my noun plus space the big dog ate the my adjective. Forgot my plus signs. So the big dog ate the big cat. The dog then space my verb then ran and do then ran space adverb. So that should work. The big dog ate the big cat. The dog then ran quickly home. And then it should return that. I kind of want to see what it looks like before. So console.log result. The big dog ate the big cat. The dog then ran quickly home. Sure. So that should satisfy this. Let us try that out. And we did pass it. So we learned a bunch of cool stuff this video. I'm going to go ahead and stop it now. And we kind of combined a bunch of stuff in this last one, which was concatenating strings with variables to create a full sentence in this variable called result. Make sure to practice all these different things. Like the other one that was important was targeting the last letter in a string, the last character. All things to keep in mind, and understanding that they're possible is key, and then later you could always look them up if you don't commit them to memory. But it is important to know your options. And make sure to share, like, and subscribe if you find these videos helpful, and I'll see you in the next lesson.